Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome back to Total War Warhammer 2, The Shadow and the Blade. We have a dwarf problem. I know that, same as the last 40 episodes, we have a dwarf problem. We have a specific dwarf problem though that I'm not sure how to deal with. I think we have to fall back. I don't think that it helps us to take on Thorgrim Grudgebearer in the front yard of this developed dwarven fort. So I am going to try to underway move away. He's close enough to us that he might get an interception move when we do this. Or an interception attack when we do this. If he does, I think it's probably good for us. I think we win the underway battle with no reinforcements involved. Okay, that's fine. We got to draw Thorgrim forward, fight him in the open, and then go after the fort. I'm not 100% certain that was right. Maybe we could... No, you know what? It's 34 units of dwarves between the two stacks. There's no way run forward was the right move. Right? Could have gotten the ambush. That's right. That's why I was considering it. Because an ambush would have been incredibly powerful. Yeah, I think we did the right thing. Remember, you can only initiate an underway move if you have 100% of your movement remaining, which means that we couldn't have attempted the ambush, seen whether it would fail, and then still have done this. And if we had tried to hit the ambush and then it failed and we decided to back off, we'd be taking mountain pass attrition the whole way back, and this is probably the safer option. It's tough. It's tough for me not to be on maximum aggressiveness because we've been on maximum aggressiveness for such a long time, such a large percentage of the campaign. Every time I feel like every time I don't do it, it feels wrong. All right, well, obviously we go after this. We hit the ambush? We do hit the ambush. Well, that's very unfortunate for him, what with all of these units being involved. Crush and Feast. No, I'm going to take the leadership buff because it's only a 2% 2% restoration. And then Infectique goes and reclaims Kemperbad, right? There's no reason not to. This is a totally trivial battle. Well, it does seem like their garrisons get healed really, really quickly, doesn't it? Those guys were already at full. Alright, that'll put us back at full as well. We're getting close to Infectique being immortal, which I'm very much looking forward to. And we're getting close to this guy being a little bit more useful, which I'm very much looking forward to. Like, Black Whirlwind is a cool spell. Brittlebone is a cool spell. I'm happy to... Oh, we had more than one skill point available. Let's grab this. I'm happy to have both of them. Oh, that's right. We have Krugenheim now. We have a weird, sort of broadly spread out territory. Well, I think we probably just want to repair this thing. I'm going to put up a growth building at Krugenheim. If we can get walls around it, that would be cool. I'm not going to stress too much if we can't, if somebody comes in and takes it from us. But obviously, if we get walls around it, it will slow enemy approaches even more than it already is going to. And then, Boil Rolk Hemlock. What a great name. I did not realize how good his name was. Gonna sail him down south here. Obside needs to... He probably will not get enough XP for this level off of a single operation. Is there any chance you could assassinate this guy and keep him from being a problem? You know what? Go for it. It would be really cool if they didn't have a level 40 agent right there. Plus, this guy being around is a real threat to Obside. Oh, he did get a full level off of that. I was not expecting him to. I'm overjoyed about the immortality. You know, as you tend to be. Immortality is one of those things that's worth getting a little bit excited about. I'm going to use Cheerflesh to keep an eye on what's going on with the Empire up here, I think. Not that an army at Talabecland specifically would be any great threat to us. But yeah, stuff like this. I want to know where their armies are, what their armies are doing, and how they're moving as they're coming in toward us. There's no universe where Ian von Sigurd is a threat to Vomik, right? We can't actually see... Okay, the edge of his movement range in March mode is only just past Middenstag. That's fine. Yeah, alright, we have lots of... You moved already, right? Yeah, you're done for the turn. We have lots of places where things need to be done. What do we want to do in Stirland? We probably want to focus on growth in Stirland. We have some walls to establish and whatnot. What do we want to do in this slot? The place is not taxed right now, so it won't help us to make an income building. Oh, yeah, it's probably a bell. If we think we're actually going to maybe be able to hold on to Sterling, we're going to need a bell. All right, let's now take a look at all of our red public order and falling areas. Reichland is gonna be under control soon. We're gonna max out the bell here, so that'll solve that problem. Public order plus 13 is pretty serious. Solland is gonna have an actual rebellion, and we're not really prepared for that. But we should definitely be doing this. And then, do we want to remove these recruitment buildings? No, I think I want to leave them in place, and we'll build the public order stuff with the extra slots that we're about to open up. But yeah, we're going to have to actually deal with that. And we have people nearby, it's just inconvenient. The vaults are unhappy, but not massively so, and we're opening up more building slots. This will be fine. We have a lot of territory to administer. Oh, this is lovely. We can get that going. It'll take merely 6 turns to complete. And then how are the rest of the... Okay, your bell is up to date. Your bell is up to date. Oh my god, look at this. We're positive on public order. Without even any tiny temporary buffs running. We may yet make it here. Even if we're not taxing, we do still get the income, or the income from the trade goods by building these. So we should probably have the trade good structures up now that we have the other important things. You guys don't have trade good structures. So we could just build the cheap money-making buildings in preparation for the time when it becomes sensible to turn taxation back on here, if we ever get public order under control enough. Because the low level of these buildings is cheap as free, right? Okay, so we have stuff building everywhere. And we're, like, basically good everywhere else. We do have the population to upgrade this, but we certainly don't have the money. Damaged buildings in Gorsel, still not actually worth fixing. Yep, the rebellion in Fildorf is a thing that we're just going to have to deal with. And we are 3 turns off of running the dominating scheme again, which we will absolutely do the moment we can, because it has turned out to be pretty relevant. That short little burst of, what do you call it? A short little burst of public order has actually been meaningful. We'll upgrade that with the rest of the money. And then we do now have enough warp fuel for some Doomwheel stuff. So I do like speed up for Doomwheels. Obviously, reload time reduction is relevant. Armor and missile resistance is a big deal because the number one thing that is dangerous to a vehicle unit like this is like a bunch of massed rifles. And boy, oh boy, are we fighting people who have access to massed rifles. I think that's probably where we're going here. Perfect vigor for characters on Doomwheel mounts. That's interesting. I wonder if vigor is even a problem for characters on Doomwheel mounts. You would expect it wouldn't be. I'm going to take meat shields. We're working toward unlocking a thing zapper. Enables contaminating attacks. That's pretty interesting. Ooh, recruit rank up and recruit time down for Doomwheels. That definitely makes them more usable. And obviously, we have a bunch of people who would love a Warp Lightning battery. Alright, let's see how the dwarves handle our cunning retreat. I'm hoping they're stupid enough to just follow us. Also, somehow I missed that Carrick Hearn was going to have a rebellion. I mean, that's easy enough to deal with at this point. The War Herd of Chaos was destroyed, which means that basically... oh, hey, look at Matorka. That's the sigil of a rebel army, maybe? the Sartosan pirates failed to maintain that territory, and now there are rebels in control of it. Rebels that don't represent player factions usually just burn settlements when they get control of them, but I guess that's not what's happening here. Also, I don't like this. I don't like additional Empire army. That's a problem. We may not have enough bodies back here. I mean, I guess Vomik is headed in that direction. Yeah, we just have a lot of enemies everywhere. Thorgrim Grudgebearer has moved out into the open. He's going to try to take some of our undefended minor settlements, which is fine. Corone backing off is pretty good for us. That means once we kill Belagar, we can probably just bring Bilefitch back to the front. Not ideal, though. That's an army spending a lot of time in transit, not actually helping us. And I'm not happy about the Warherd of Chaos being destroyed, because that probably means... Oh, hey, look at that, another Chaos Wave. That probably means that the Empire and Kislev are holding just fine against the Chaos forces. And I mean, clearly Reichland is doing just fine, because, like... Oh, actually... This used to be Reichland, right? Maybe they are feeling some pressure. I can't imagine if they're feeling any pressure at all from the... from these guys over here. How could they possibly be devoting the number of armies to annoying me that they have been able to devote to that, right? I don't think there's anything fancy to do over here. Let's just get Bilefitch into position to hunt down Belagar Ironhammer. We're quite fast. I'm not worried about him being able to outrun us or anything. We will get him.
Let the bell scream.
Remamute is going to need to put down a rebellion and then position himself to put down some more stuff in the near future. We don't have time to let these guys build up and draw off the dissidents from Carrick Hearn. Like, we just got to keep moving. I didn't even look at what that was. Sorry, what are the Pipes of Piebald? Minus charge speed and charge bonus for nearby enemies. I don't know about all that. That doesn't seem very good at all. I will go ahead and build... Well, actually, no, sorry. This should probably be a garrison building. We haven't been attacked down there, but we could be attacked down there at any time. Yep, that is a Border Prince's Rebels settlement. Yeah, Rebels usually just burn stuff down. I'm surprised to see that. Okay, what are we doing with Remamute? We are blue lining. Well... Yeah, what actually do we want here? I'm a little leery of all this stuff. I guess Skaven Corruption is the way we want to go. It has a negative effect on public order, but the extra units sure are useful. Looks like if we did a full march, we could just barely get in range of Faldorf's garrison, but we wouldn't actually be able to take advantage of it anyway, I think, because of the fact that the city's under siege. So we're just gonna hide here in the mountain pass, let Thorgrim advance, and then try to backstab him. The back is my favorite side to stab people in. Let's get basic defenses up all around here. And then Ikiclaw needs to turn around and be a threat to somebody on this side. If I stop here, I can definitely hit Talabheim next turn. So this is where we will stealth around. There's nobody over there to see us even. It may end up being the case that stealth is gaining us nothing. You need to be in position to range ahead next turn and find out what else is going on up here. You need to follow that army. Those guys probably just went to Middenstag, right? Yeah. Alright, we will harass them as time permits. Vomik has to cut back in this direction. I guess, hold on. We know Haddard's got to put down the rebellion. Let's do that. This should be very doable. Game disagrees. Well, I mean, listen. I get where they're coming from. We have some real bad units in this army. Let's not take any chances. But, like, yeah, this has to happen. We gotta get these guys out of the way so that we can play a little bit of defense. So Vomit spends a turn moving in this direction, and then maybe next turn we can have Vahedar and Vomit together start putting down these developed Reichland armies. I mean, Karl Franz's army is bad, but that other army that's sailing around is probably not. We have to be ready. We don't have to get our income up that much to replace these Skaven slaves with something else. I'm hoping that we can make that happen relatively soon. So we probably... Okay, let's move the catapult crews back just a little bit. I want to be at, like, maximum range here. There we go. I want to be able to hit the enemies, but I don't want them to be able to hit us without moving forward as far as we can possibly make them. You guys are a little shorter ranged and probably shouldn't be moved back. We have one unit of Jezzails. Honestly, this is pretty much the way I want these dudes set up. Keep you kind of in the middle. No, sorry, you're the Warlord. Keep the Warlock Engineer kind of in the middle. The Warlord ready to just be up front. Yeah, I think this is it. I don't think this is a terribly complicated defensive structure here, because we don't have enough options for it to be complicated. Now, we do have to wait for them to get a bit closer before the lightning becomes an option. Like, obviously this is very bad for them. Let's say right there. Okay, that did some damage. That did a little bit of damage. And I will absolutely just, like, spawn random clan rats in position to block. Just make it take longer for them to approach, because the moment they get up here in melee is when things start turning around on us. Can't help but notice my gunners... Oh, there's terrain issues. Well, alright. In that case, you guys may as well just go ahead and move up. The gunners are going to have to, like, wing out to the side in order to be able to shoot, which is annoying. I'm not going to have the council guards step up right away. I have them come out to the side as well. Yeah, I hadn't realized how crummy the terrain was here. Oh, and also, you are way better than you need to be to kill a Warlock Master by yourself. I wonder if we can get this unit of Rattling Guns into a firing position. You guys back up. You guys back up. And where are they? I mean, they're not really dense anywhere. Just, like, pick a side so we can drop some more lightning on it. Okay, apparently we're not going to need quite as much melee here as I thought we might. Okay, Warp Lightning's still on cooldown. You may as well heal yourself up. We are seeing some of the enemies actually deal some damage. Slings are pretty good against Skaven slaves, because Skaven slaves don't wear any armor at all. Don't suppose you Rattling Guns want to actually fire your weapons at all at any time, ever? Alright, who's not running away? You're not running away. Let's give you a little bit of a push here. Okay, there we go. Turns out I didn't really need to spend that food, because we didn't have enough time to make use of it anyway. I just wanted to be sure. This would have been a really embarrassing loss, you know? And like I was saying, I think last episode, it's difficult to imagine a situation where our amount of food on hand actually matters, given the immense amount of food that we are draining every single turn. Like any food we get is a resource that will be gone by the end of the turn after we get it, right? Except in situations which we like what we have had once or twice, where we just get a truly huge amount of food in a single turn and we can like ride it for a couple of turns. This should be 100% trivial, because now we get the garrison. We already have the leadership buff, so we may as well take something else here. Alright, that was a little bit of useful experience. Get our verminous valor going. Some kind of explosion of terror, apparently. Oh, I could have taken another point of increased mobility for the army. That would have been the right move. Alright, we'll hang out in Marienburg for a second here, because I think this will keep us from getting attacked again. And Vomik needs to... Where's the Karaberg's influence end? So we want to, yeah, like somewhere like here. I'll be in range to harass here. I can camouflage myself for right now, which, as everybody knows, I do so love to do. It probably won't work, because Vomik's ambushes never work. Partly because I'm leaving him in the open. You know, you can get the numbers on that, the bonuses, to a place where just in the open in a field, you are often still able to pull off an ambush. I thought we had done that. Apparently not. So I don't really want to upgrade Blackstone Post. It's fine. It's fine the way it is. We have other places that matter more. Like I said, we're going to at least try to get walls up around these settlements. So Kemperbad is more relevant. I think it gets upgrades first. Oh, we have enough population to push them both at the same time. Never mind. Everything's cool. We are still not going to bother repairing anything in Gorsel. But we'll know if that is actually a thing that looks like we might be able to start fixing it next turn, right? Because if I repair it right now, he's just going to go back and raid it again. 960 plus, yeah, like we're talking about sinking a significant amount of gold into something that he can just undo with a single trivial move. And that's everyone, is it? No, Remamute. Okay, yeah, we did move Remamute. Infectique still has full movement. So do we want to move him up and try to catch this guy coming through a Middenstag? Do we want maybe we want to try to run him over to Ikit. Yeah, let's go play teamwork with Ikit Claw. Looks like I can't quite make it to reinforcement range. That might be close enough that they'll give it to us. I'm gonna see. Also, it's pretty unlikely anybody actually attacks me over here anyway. So can he make Weissmund, do we think? We do. He can just barely make Weissmund. So that's what he'll do on his turn. That'll slow him down a little bit. Which probably means that it's not worth doing this stuff. And we could save that money. I'm going to go ahead and do the... I'll leave this on, since it's partially completed and canceling it would only give us back a portion of the money anyway. If he, for whatever reason, doesn't attack it, we can let it progress toward having a garrison structure. And then with 2,400 gold, just start upgrading cash buildings, right? It's 2,000? Yeah, best we leave that unupgraded. But like we can do some of this. Just find the places where there are these things and upgrade them. Okay. We do need to look into, and maybe it would have been a good thing to do this turn instead of upgrading those income buildings. Probably not. We need the money. We do need to look into like exactly what the upkeep difference is going to be for Hadar's army between him having Skaven slaves and him having like clan rats. The Skaven slaves will feel a little bit less bad once he gets that Oh, interesting. He fell back instead of pushing onto Weissmund. But yeah, the Skaven slaves will feel a little bit less bad once we have that skill that gives the casualty replenishment rate plus the other thing, plus the Skaven slave stats. I am a little bit baffled by Karl Franz attacking Marienburg with an army in it. That doesn't seem like a good idea at all. Did he do the math on that one? So he's going to take Steingart, I assume. Yeah, not much we could do about that. And he just burns it to the ground. What a monster. Ironhammer is going to find that there are no undefended territories in that direction. We just met the Sarl, and now they are obliterated. It's almost like knowing me is a curse, in many ways. Alright, so all the tiny empire settlement, or all the tiny empire nations are glomming together. All the dwarf ghosts are harassing us non-stop. And we need to get a hold of Belagar Ironhammer. The only thing I can think of that he might be doing is going for the forest, maybe? I'm fairly sure. Yeah, we're quite a bit faster than he is. Look at the amount of distance we closed here. So it's not impossible that he will take the King's Glade from us in a couple of turns, but I don't think it will be any worse than that. We will catch him. And the forest works for us now. He is not safe to travel there. Actually, hold on. Before I tell the army to do anything, Abside, go forth and assess the situation. Aha. Forest Todbringer. Well, we could try to cut... He has 2 wizards, so cutting a wizard out of the army doesn't feel great necessarily, because he'll still be able to use all of his winds of magic. We could just assault his units. I kind of like killing a character, I think. Let's take out the Witch Hunter. Let's take out his anti-character character. Ooh, critical success. Nicely done, Obside. Way to totally murder the entire hell out of a guy. So there's another full-sized army here, although it's not a very good army. I think that we're cool to take the 2 stacks to Talabheim and spill some blood. Who leads? It's probably Infectique. I think Ikit Claw's army is a little bit faster moving because we don't have so many Stormies. So let's step up here and crush an awful lot of Empire dudes. Worth noting that Todbringer's army is tired. So if we have to climb the walls and fight them in melee on the walls, they will not have a vigor advantage on us. It'll be about the same. Our guys will be real tired and their guys will be real tired. I don't think there's any kind of fancy preparation to do here. He does have 2 steam tanks. That's interesting. Not super good in sieges until we get like inside the walls. But by the time we get inside the walls, we'll have our gunners in position and stuff. I'm not too worried. Yeah, let's do it. Let's put as much food as possible into this and then do it. So, remember, in terms of objectives, the long plan here, we do have to remove Reichland from the game. So this is necessary for that purpose. We also have to make sure that there's a tremendous amount of Skaven corruption in Vampire Town, the Sylvanian territories, which means that we have to push east quite a bit more. Also, we want to push east because there's a couple of the 17 major settlements are over there. We could get a hold of Carrick Cadrin and Castle Drakenhof and stuff together. Ooh, a corner battle. That's interesting. So our reinforcements are coming in over there, which makes me want to move this whole army over here. I'm all about the 2-front battle. Guys, come on. Just get over here. Just get over here in a way that will fit. Let's get this garbage off the screen. Okay. So we can approach over here. I think with this army, I think I do just climb up and have at them on the walls. So let's have the storm vermin up here. We still don't want to take fire from more than one tower for any longer than we have to, obviously. I'm explaining all of this like I've never done it before. Like you guys don't know exactly what the plan is for this army when doing this particular thing. Here's a question. Do we want to just smash the gates open with our Doom Flayers immediately? If we do that, we're making it easier for them to contribute the force of their steam tanks to the battle, so it might actually be kind of a bad idea. Nah, we're gonna do it. We're gonna open things up. It'll make it easier for our gunners to contribute too, and I have confidence that we will use Skaven ingenuity to overcome the rattling or the steam tank issue. Okay, so you guys just ride hard for the gatehouse. I don't know that we'll necessarily run inside right away, but we will definitely smash the doors. At least give our gunners the option of participation. And we also need to take these towers. So it's going to be like this. I don't want them to just run in a straight line there, because then they'll be in this tower's arc of fire for a considerable period of time. Okay, and then we still have you. Just get over here. You will go up whatever ladders need going up next. Okay, a lot of this terrain is too densely forested to move into, apparently, even though it obviously is not. Okay, and then, yeah, gunners and stuff just kind of go wherever. Mortars, we want to be a little bit thoughtful about the positioning of... Not too thoughtful. Listen, don't spend too much time thinking. That's never aided anyone. Okay, and then we're obviously going to have to keep an eye on the reinforcements coming in. I do not think that us breaking the gates open will cause them to run a bunch of soldiers out into the field. If it did, I think that would be beneficial for us. I think we are the ones who are advantaged in that situation. And over here on this side, we have... Sorry, over here on this side, we have Ikit Claw's army, who is coming in quickly to a side of the thing that is completely undefended. Hopefully we can make some stuff happen on that. Make sure that we're giving relevant orders the very moment we can, because we got to take advantage of their lack of preparation here. You guys need to get on that gatehouse. I don't know why my units are coming in out of their normal order. That's pretty weird. Like, the Doomflayers are not next to each other in the army. Why would that be? Okay, hold on. We do have something else that we have to manage here. Alright, so they're casting fire magics and stuff on us. We are approaching the... Yeah, okay, they're doing that thing. The mortars are in firing position and are firing. Does it make sense for us to expend charges of the menace below anywhere over here? They don't actually have much siege gear. They have the tanks, but that's really it. So I don't think we want to drop anything inside the walls right now. I think we're probably just waiting on a lot of this stuff. I do need to make sure we're doing this. Go ahead and get Winds of Magic into that pool, because we did not start with a huge amount. And the Death Runners, we need to make sure that they're, like, as close as they can be without being in range of the enemy attacks. Actually, the same is true for Infectique. Infectique needs to be ready to climb the walls at a moment's notice, or at least close enough that he can shout at our dudes from the ground, because we could still be applying this buff. And you have your Black Whirlwind, which cannot be cast on top of the wall, sadly. We don't have the fancy version of it yet, and it's very expensive. We could open with an assault of stone, though, on top of the wall here. See if we can't get some damage out. Boy, I sure hope that goes off before our guys hit the wall. Okay, you know what? Maybe, maybe do that further in. By the time he actually gets in casting range, it looks like it's maybe going to be a bad idea to do it. You know what? Actually, get closer. What he's doing. Don't just stop and look at the tower that's shooting you. Get up there. Get up the wall. Can't help but notice that. Are you even trying? Okay, he's kind of trying to get there. Is that casting? Okay, there we go. There's the rocks. Okay, then you want to get out of the tower. That's decent damage. Those that assault of stone thing is pretty significant. Okay, so a question. Do we climb the wall on this side, or do we just let the Doom Flayers open it and then go through? I think we actually don't bother climbing the wall. The Doom Flayers will get the job done. We just need to get people, like, pretty compressed into the space over here so that we're not taking a ton of tower fire, because they are, of course, going to mount the wall. So let's try to get over there, and then we'll funnel through. We'll actually push them really hard on this side if we can. I guess the catapults over here can probably just go to, like, here, right? They'll be able to fire in and get something done. I don't really know what I want to do with the warp lightning cannons. I think the move might be they come inside with us. Are both of those units of Doomflayers in there? Yes, I guess. Hey, they're not very large. They fit well inside the gate. Alright, so we're taking a little bit of enemy spellcasting, but, you know, it's to be expected. Can we get a black whirlwind out here now that our winds of magic have solidified a little bit more? We have catapult fire. Let's tell our men to stand or die. Let's also tell our Doomflayers to back off from the gate a little bit. I don't actually want you to go through by yourselves. I just wanted that open so that we can do stuff with it. As we get control of the towers up here, we can make some other decisions. I can't help but notice that that's a wizard. Their bright wizard. That's their fire wizard. Just ran right up onto the wall to fight us. Seems like a strange decision to me. I just need to get all the way over here. Okay, so now that we have control of this tower, how does that change our positioning? It probably means we want to move the gunners on this side forward so that we're ready if they do run stuff out into the open, but mostly so that once this is taken, we're ready to move into a position where we can fire through the gate. They have moved some stuff in. They're going to be shooting at our siege weapons, which is, like, not really avoidable. We could send a unit or two up onto the wall just to break that, but to be perfectly honest, I think I'm okay with it. I'm okay with taking a little bit of damage while we get this set up. Ikit Claw could probably be a little bit closer here. We could just, like, harass these guys up here gently. That's not going to cost us very much. We got our Black Whirlwind going off over here, it looks like. We must have already cast it. Yeah. It did some good damage. We got to be ready with the Death Runners to get up on the wall. I think I want to put our... Oh, that's right. Is he on a mount already? Yes, he's the one who is on a mount already. He cannot participate in the wall portion of the fight. I'm a little bummed out about the amount of damage we're taking here. I guess some of that is them shooting lightning at us, which is a thing that happens. I don't know that we necessarily do want the Death Runners up on the wall, but we are taking control of this. Can I get a little bit more focus on these guys? Alright, the gate is open, which means we need to make some decisions. We probably don't want because they have halberds, we probably don't want the Doomflayers to lead this attack. To be perfectly honest, we probably want Ikit Claw to lead this attack. Let's do this thing. And then this, I think, is when we want to use our first Menace Below. We're going to press these guys from both sides. We're going to get in here really, really quickly. So, do we want to move anybody in particular in? I mean, probably it makes sense to go with the couple units of sword clan rats that we have. Just get in there. And once Ikit Claw actually casts his thing, we'll issue him a movement order as well. I could have sworn I told you guys to get out of there. Okay. Yeah, once we manage to hack our way through here, we can give Ikit some additional spell casting to ease that. Once we actually manage to break through here, we will we'll run our own gunners through and everything will get a lot uglier for them. Did he just decide that the Warp Lightning cast was not worth his time, or what happened there? There we go. Honestly, I think they're just going to let him run in. It doesn't look like they have any interest in blocking him at all. And the great swords are getting hacked up a little bit, so he can make some stuff happen here. That steam tank is obviously going to be a problem, and it's a problem for which we do not have a solution. But it doesn't have to be a right now problem. Okay. Storm Vermin's just absolutely hacked to pieces by the ranged units that they were fighting up on the wall. There wasn't really a lot else going on up here, so I'm not 100% sure what happened to all of them. Let's move over to this location and put up a standard die, but also we are now in a position where we can set up gunners out here. We could probably do this a little bit further from the wall. Warp Fire Throwers a little closer to the wall, and we could start moving in the other melee troops. The ones who we have to be a little bit more cautious with. Including our Lord. And also, actually, the Doomflayers. Let's make sure you guys are getting the buffs you need. We can Black Whirlwind again, and so I think we shall. Well, I really moved him back a bunch of times, huh? Yeah, I think we're taking a lot of lightning damage, is what is happening. I don't think this is a battle where we need to Doom Rocket. Probably not. We're probably okay. Let's make sure this front is behaving sensibly. I mean, yeah, it's going pretty well. Do we want to Storm Demon the tank? I think this is a good use of our initial Storm Demon. They moved everybody up onto the walls, which I kind of get as a strategy in the sense that it makes it easier for them to deal damage to us right now. But it also means that we are basically completely free to just enter the town. Sorry, probably don't take that order, you guys. And then catapults are still in position to do catapult stuff. Yeah, okay. I mean, it's certainly not going to be a flawless victory, right? We are taking losses, but I don't know that that's avoidable, and I don't also know that it is a bad thing. We need to be in position to be effective. I keep forgetting about the clan stone. I should have been dropping the clan stone for stuff like. Well, we'll get a little bit of clan stone boosted damage. There we go, like a whole second or two. We don't really have a good solution to their hero because we can't put our combat character on the wall, and I don't want to run him inside because there's too many damn halberds and knights with charging abilities. But as long as we're keeping a ton of them distracted over here, I guess they're not in position to stop our advance on this side. It's like weird decision making on their part. Okay, that should be an issue for those guys. And we'll go ahead. I was going to wait until the orb wore off, but you know what? Get in there, dudes. You don't have to be afraid of the orb. Sure, it's going to kill a whole bunch of you, but, you know, don't be afraid is what I'm saying. Alright, we do need to keep Ikit Claw working on this side, because there are still many enemies. Actually, this might be a Death Frenzy moment. Like, Death Frenzy everyone up, and then have them work together on those guys, except for Ikit Claw, who finishes this job. We're being shot at by the steam tank, but there's not actually anything we can do about that. Not yet, anyway. As soon as this opening is clear, and maybe even, you know what, maybe we can start it now, because it looks like those dudes are mostly off to the side. We can start moving our guns through here, and then have them work that steam tank. It shouldn't take too much fire from these gun teams to get that done. Also, the Warp Lightning Cannon can move in. We'll figure this out. We'll get this working. Looks like we lost a Warp Lightning Cannon on the walk. It's too much tower damage. Ah, well. And these guys really hate Infectique. Like, they're very devoted to killing his army and his army alone. The downside of that is that now this area that we had cleared and taken control of all the towers in is falling back to the enemy in a way that we're not going to be able to do anything about because we lost all of our units. We have done some very serious work, though, on these melee troops. Do I think it's a good idea to just run inside now? We don't have quite as much anti-cavalry power in this army as we have had in many of our armies, because this army was built to kind of fight dwarves. So I'm a little worried about the units of knights. I guess one of the units of knights is already pretty much dead. Yeah, maybe we just push in and fight them. Boy, like, Death Runners are going to get so torn apart, so completely and utterly torn apart by fighting knights. It's going to be really ugly. The other option is Death Runners up on the wall. But I'm not 100% sure that I think they would survive that much better up there. I guess that's what we're doing, though. I was really thinking that the Stormvermin were going to stand a lot better than they stood. Well, we might have to rebuild Infectique's entire army. That might be the case. And with 3 winds of magic, I may as well hit the Wand of Jet. I don't think it's actually reducing our spellcasting ability at all. You guys need to get in behind here. Ow! Don't hit me with lightning. What's wrong with you? Who taught you manners? Okay, it's the rapid dissolution of a summoned unit. That's fine. I can do this all day. Pushing up onto the wall, and all this gunfire is probably doing very little total damage. But I'll tell you what it is doing is panicking them. You guys need to get out of the area of these towers. All we can do over here is just keep pressing stand or die, which is a shame. I kind of wish some of them would come out and fight me. I don't want to go in there, obviously. But it would be cool if some of them would come out here. I will say this, the Death Runners will be better at fighting their lord than the Stormies were. Stormvermin actually have pretty poor combat stats, pretty poor hit and defense. These guys are a little bit better off, and they'll strip his armor. So we might be able to get some kills. Maybe. And things are not going well for them, and it does seem like they're aware of that. All I want you guys to do is figure out a way to shoot this steam tank. Yeah, you should shoot the steam tank. Those guys are all broken up. So we have one more summon. I don't know that I see a situation for it right now. We're not going to worry about it for the moment, I guess. You guys come through here, finish that job. You hit the unlimited power, and then I guess also go after the steam tank. We got to break these steam tanks down, right? You know what he needs to do? He needs to step up over here, and we actually need to get some other spears in the area as well, because they're going to cavalry charge us once the guns are in place, probably. That is my guess. Tank is just going to stand back and shoot stuff at us, which is, you know, not ideal. I'm not gonna pretend I like it. I'm actually going to summon our last group here. We'll kill these guys, and then we can just stand in the alley until the cavalry are done. Try to catch as many of the cav as we can with this. Okay, so the center of town is lost. They are doomed. We have managed to, at the very least, buy enough time with the deaths of all of our units over here to make that work. And it looks like we are, at this point, finally getting control of the wall. It has cost us many Skaven lives. But yeah, their Empire captain is now getting overwhelmed with his armor being shredded. Okay. So what do they have in here? They have a steam tank, some great swords. They no longer have a functional unit of halberds at the gate. So I think at this moment we push in with these guys. What I'd really love is to kill that wizard really quickly. And then we'll figure everything else out from there, right? And I'm still a little leery of running our lord in here for fear of him getting chopped, but it might be time. We might have to impress a little bit more violence on these guys. They do have 2 full units of handgunners. One there and then one over here, which would make it pretty dangerous for us to come in, but also he'll be good at fighting them. I'm just like, handgunners plus Empire Knights is a really good way to fight large units. It's a really good anti-large unit strategy. Let's move the catapults on this side forward a little bit. We've pressed out all of the enemies over here. Move forward, get ourselves into position. Actually, hold on. What was the... Yeah, I probably need to incline them a little bit more. Alright, we'll be able to fire deeper this way. We've completely exhausted our Winds of Magic pool, which doesn't necessarily mean a ton. We have the ability to put more winds in the pool slowly. But we're close to done casting. Also, I'm surprised at how well that plan worked. That's one steam tank down. Probably there's a good balance reason that they don't do this, but it would be pretty cool if the loss of really momentous units like that had a morale effect. You have to imagine Empire dudes on the ground would have a real problem with their you guys get pushed off your cannons? Or do you not actually have any cannons left? Nope, the steam tank killed all of the warplaning cannons. Well, that's inconvenient. Why don't you guys go stand outside and smoke? I really don't want the cannon crew getting killed. Because we can replenish us up some cannons. That's not a problem. I'm going to have you guys step to like right here. Just form a wall, and we need to get the surviving gunners into position to... Well, actually, for right now, let's shoot those guys. But then, obviously, we have 2 more groups of knights over here that we're going to have to deal with in pretty short order. We almost killed that wizard. He's very close to dead. I do not think it is a good idea for you guys to be in here by yourselves anymore. Fall back, see if the enemy will follow you out and eat lots of fire. I was kind of assuming that at some point more of the force that's up here would be drawn toward the other door, where we could, start shooting them. But apparently that's never ever going to happen. Okay, that's my mortar just only shooting at my own troops. So maybe you guys need some new orders. Please, please stop just shooting at us. Yeah, like a big part of the reason that this is all working so well is that troops on the other side of the battle declined to participate in the battle. Let's have... Alright, I'm going to break off a couple units of spears, a couple units of clan rats. To come over here, we're going to press the town center from this side. Between these, like, 3 units of ground troops and the Doom Flayers, I bet we can take the center. And in fact, I'm going to have the Doom Flayers do this thing right now. Go work that wizard over. And then the rest of us need to move this way. It's like a lot of us, actually. What are you? Oh, you're the Warp Lightning crew. Yep, Boris Todbringer is on a Pegasus. That's a problem. That's a problem that we have right now. Can we hit him with a lightning, maybe? Oh, actually, let's Warp Gale him. Let's just stop him in place. You guys fall back. You guys fall back a little bit. You guys apparently need to prepare for a charge that is coming from a different direction. Okay, Warp Gale just didn't cast. Has a little bit of wind-up time. Nice of them not to really harass the Rattling guns. No, he just actually, he literally didn't, he chose not to cast it. He figured I must have made an error. Guys, get him. Jezzails and Rattling guns. Todbringer. Todbringer is important. Slay him. And then we also have these guys. Just get them. Okay, this, I cannot believe that this is working, that they're just electing to attack here, which is like super wrong. Maybe the wrongest thing they've ever done. You guys probably, instead of riding after that wizard that's just going to get you cavalried, let's hit those dudes in the back. Over here on this side, the steam tank is trying to come through the gate, which is real good for us. Okay. Yeah, this was a massacre. This side, the battle was very harsh, but I think we finally got him. Hey, wizard. Step away from the steam tank. Infectique, go fuck up that steam tank. I believe in you. Maybe buff your melee defense. Okay, never mind. There's no steam tank left. It is time for you to get in here and break some stuff. It is time for all of you ranged units to get in here and break some stuff. Actually, you guys should definitely attack. Alright, he killed the enemy lord with a single charge. Okay, I think they've given up. They are slowly giving up. They're working on it. They're thinking about it. Do we want to? Maybe. I don't know. I guess they're called the Stubborn Bulls for a reason. Okay, that was an expensive victory. Fortunately, I think it is the case that these two armies should be able to easily hold against the army that we know is just slightly to the north if it should try to counterattack. And I'm glad we led this with Infectique, because I think that Ikit Claw is the one that we want in position to defend. Got some good XP on some of his units. It looks like maybe we're going to straight lose these Storm Vermin, but probably all of the Death Runners will survive. Yep, that is exactly what happened. Okay, wow. That's a lot of money. But I actually think we probably just want to take the settlement over. I'm so nervous now that we're going to try to do a sack and claim, and it's going to turn out we don't have the movement. And I really, really want this army to be the one that is in the settlement getting the settlement replenishment. World's Edge Armor. Oh, that's interesting. A one-time massive armor buff. Miscast chance 100%, but it absorbs the leadership from an enemy. I don't think that's actually good. Oh, a second army that 100% was not there before is now magically there. That's certainly interesting. Well, I mean, nothing for it at this point, right? We don't actually have any options. Yeah, that sucks. That sucks. Invisible super stealth army is rough. Most of our ranged troops are still in pretty good health, with the exception of Ikit's warp lightning cannons. Oh no, they're actually fine. There's 3 of them. They're okay. We have spells. We have the Doom Rocket. I guess that's how we're fighting that. Can you come back and deal some damage over here? We just soften these guys up. Probably not those guys. Let's do it to the people who are not getting settlement replenishment. Alright, that should be helpful. Yeah, this might be a little bit of a tough one. Maybe they'll elect not to engage. Maybe. I would be surprised if that's what happened, but maybe. Oh, he done goofed. Karl Franz has made an error. He did not realize that Vomik was present. Vomik's ambush did not get spoiled for once. Alright, so we extremely ambush the hell out of this army. It's got that solved, and then... How much movement does Vomik have left? If he goes into March mode, he only makes it to here. I was going to say, it looks like Hadar is actually in position to push that other army if you want, but no, we are not ready to do that thing. Arms dealer, warp forged armor, augmented weapon. Let's take a point in arms dealer. Nope. Let's take a point in increased mobility. What am I thinking? So we could just attack these guys. We could catch them. We don't know exactly what's in that army. They do have the Hammer of the Witches, which is like a pretty mean name for a thing. I think we're not really ready for all that. You know what we should do? I'm going to put you in march mode. We're going to march you to the edge of your ability to go places. You're going to come with him, just because we know these guys are going to move on their turn, so I want to be, like, as far forward as possible to try to chase them. We're going to go into... I mean, this will help a little bit in terms of replenishment, just topping off, but unfortunately we're not going to be able to recruit anything in a single turn, so we'll just grab 2 more units of Skaven slaves, fill out this army the rest of the way. Our gold per turn looks a little bit better now, but remember that that's partially because of the fact that we are running fewer units because we had some of them die. That's not a permanent state. Alright, it looks like the Bretonnians certainly have some designs on moving off of their shore, up toward the north. Not a big fan, personally, of that plan. Okay, all of our armies have committed, so we have 18,000 gold sitting around. What do we want to spend it on? We never did cap this off, like, this is an extra 300 gold per turn. It takes a while, though. Hold on, didn't we have, Oh, we don't have a garrison building here. But I was going to say, didn't we have a place where we could... Yeah, this. Let's do this thing. It may never come up, but I want to have a good recruitment, like a good fortified recruitment place in the middle of all of these territories over here for when the elves show up. And this is the thing that if we don't do it now, by the time we need this, it will be too late to build it. So let's just make sure that's actually built up. That's what we're going to plow a bunch of money into right now. They're going to come for us eventually. Although I am noticing they look weaker relative to us now than they have at any point that I can remember, certainly at any point since the war was declared. What's up with you guys? Do you want a military alliance? Well, you know what? I was about to say I'm not so interested in, but actually, is there any harm in taking this military alliance? They're trading with they're defensive allies with a faction we like. The only people they're at war with are people we're at war with. I guess I'm not at war with Itza, but it looks like that isn't really even a problem. Look at look at how effectively our Undercity has spread with so little effort from us. I really need to invest some gold in getting some return from all of that. That's a thing that we need to do. I think I'm willing to take a military alliance here. It's unusual, but 1,000 gold. I'm in a position where 1,000 gold is really helpful. Maybe we'll just forge the huge rat alliance. We'll try to get a military alliance going with Clan Moors, and we'll just kill everybody who's not Skaven. What's up? You guys want a defensive alliance, and you want me to pay for it? Absolutely not. What are you thinking? Why would I do that? Also, the time might be coming to claim Sartosa. We might be getting past Sartosa's usefulness. Okay, they don't even want to fight. That's fine. It's cowardice, but it's fine. Reichland is looking pretty broken, strength-wise. And we are in a good position to press on them from multiple angles. I'm excited. I think we're going to make a lot of progress really quickly here while they're trying to rebuild. Belagar Ironhammer turns around to attack us. I think the game is... I think the balance of power bar here is dramatically overestimating his chances. He doesn't even have any siege gear. What's he going to do? Just, like, walk at us? Alright. Obviously, we're going to have to fight this manually because that auto-resolve looks terrible, but we do not have time to do that right now. That is going to have to be it for us for the moment. Thank you all so much for watching. Come back next time to watch Bilefitch Stab drive Belagar Ironhammer into the ground for, I don't know, the 12th time, and then do some very exciting stuff. And we'll see you then.